Well, good afternoon. I'm Lindsay Ertz. Welcome in. Parents who use Salt Lake County's daycares will now have a little more time to find their children a new center. That's because the County Council voted to keep 4 of their daycare centers open until May of 2026. They were originally scheduled to be shuttered at the end of the year. ABC4's Bayan Wang joins us now live in the newsroom. Bayan, there were a lot of angry parents here about this decision to close them. How much did that play into this?
Well, Lindsay, that's exactly why they changed course, right? They wanted to give parents more time to figure out alternative arrangements for childcare, but some of those parents told me they're still out of luck in this situation.
I mean, it's good that the closure has been delayed. It gives us a little bit more time to figure out what we're going to do.
Stephanie Wright will take all the time she can get to find her kids other childcare options. The deadline, May 2026.
I'm not sure what we are going to do as a family. We can't afford to take our kids to a private childcare center. It will more than double the cost of childcare for us, and it's just not financially feasible for us.
Wright's children currently go to the Mill Creek Activity Center. Salt Lake County councilors voted to close that daycare along with 4 others in the county back in October before receiving backlash from many parents who use those facilities. On Monday, the council changed course. District 3 Councilor Amy Winder-Newton voted for an extension.
So today, the County Council Republicans voted to ensure that these families had until the end of May to find new daycare options.
What really went into that decision?
Well, after we heard from parents, we had lots of people reach out to us. We made the decision to extend that because we wanted to make sure and give them ample time.
So why the closures in the first place?
The frustration with this is we have low-income families and seniors on fixed incomes, plus the rest of the 1.2 million people in Salt Lake County who are subsidizing through property tax daycare for 271 kids. It's to the tune of $2 million a year. That's not right for property taxpayers to subsidize childcare for families who aren't even low income. There were no income requirements or qualifications for these daycares.
Speaking of income, Stephanie Gardner is a Utah National Guard employee and has been furloughed for more than a month amid the government shutdown. She says the closure of her children's daycare is going to force her to make some tough decisions.
For me personally, this is even harder because I'm going to have to separate my children. That anything I find for my daughter won't work for my son, and trying to get your kids to daycare and have that work for your work hours it's even more frustrating.
A lot of frustration going around. Parents hope that within the next several months, the council decides to change course, to come together and say, hey, this is going to have a huge impact. Let's keep these daycares open. Live in the newsroom, I'm Bayan Wang, ABC4 News.
Bayan, thank you. A lot of concerned parents out there for sure. Well, Salt Lake County's Mayor Jenny Wilson responding to the council's decision, saying, quote, while today's vote provided more time for enrolled families to find alternative sources of care, I believe we should have taken the time necessary to make these child care programs viable for the long term. She goes on to say the Salt Lake County has a history of offering affordable, accessible programs for children, families, and individuals and seniors. I will work to ensure that this mission is not compromised at Salt Lake County, the mayor says.